You better know how your Social Security benefits work before you go into the office. We're going to dive into this one. It's an email from a friend of mine, a longtime friend of the family, who emailed me about a month or so ago about the follow-up to discussions we've had on her own retirement. She's a widow, all right, Southern widow, and one of the reasons I started the YouTube channel because you just don't know when your time is up or your spouse's time is up or whatever. You just don't know, and hopefully you're not pushing things off your enjoyment of your lives together under this assumption that it will be there in the future because you just don't know. So I'm not going to get into her situation here today, but she sent me this email. Obviously, you won't know who she is, but I do, and it's important to understand how this stuff works because you could really be up the creek without a paddle if you're not careful. All right, so let's go to this. Hey, Josh, I've been following your emails and enjoying them quite a bit. Just wanted you to know that today I initiated stage 2 of the retirement plan we discussed, starting my own benefit, Social Security benefit, while my survivor's benefit continues to accrue. As you had warned me, the woman I spoke to at first, this is down in the office, told me it was not possible for me to draw my benefit and switch to my survivor benefit at a later date. I want to repeat this. As you know, as I had warned you, or as you had warned me, the woman I spoke to at the Social Security Administration first told me it was not possible for me to draw my benefit and switch to my survivors at a later date. All right, so you hear that. But after checking with her coworker, she learned that indeed it was possible for me to do so. I was prepared for her response, thanks to you, and ready to ask her to consult with her supervisor. Now, I will say thanks to my man Larry Kotlikoff for taking this. There's a whistleblower from the Social Security Administration in Philadelphia, or was it Boston? I think it was Philly, who shared with Larry back in 2012 about the ineptitude of the employees at the SSA when it comes to widows' benefits. All right, so Larry's been harping on this for a long time. Whoever that whistleblower was, I don't know. I mean, he kept his name, I think he kept his name clear. It's because he didn't want to get fired. The Social Security Administration simply did not act. They did not act. And Larry, thankfully, because he has got a microphone, or megaphone, I should say, was able to put the pressure on them. So after many a year, finally, in 2018, February, the OIG, the Office of Inspector General of the Social Security Administration, issued a report that said the Social Security Administration had wrongly denied over $100 million in benefits to widows. All right, so the Social Security Administration was shortchanging widows because of people like this. The woman at first told my friend that she could not take her own benefits and still allow for her survivor benefits to accrue. So obviously, I just got this email last month. The OIG office came back with a report last year in February. So 12 months have gone by, and yet they're still saying the same thing. It's scary, man, because how many people were knowing about the shortchanging of survivors? I bet not that many. But the OIG reported that they were doing this, all right? And obviously the Social Security Administration has not done what they're supposed to do to educate their staff. And so my friend here, who's a dear friend of mine, by the way, would have made a mistake if she listened to this person without knowing that person is wrong. Infuriates me. Do I blame that individual at the SSA? No, because she didn't know either, all right? The training that they have is inferior. It's not nefarious. It's just completely suspect, and it needs to be addressed because we have the OIG report stating that it's like $127 million of people's rightly by law money was neglected, was denied. Thankfully, she knew better, this woman here. My survivor's benefit will max in 3.5 years, so that is the window for this phase. The phase that she'll take her own benefit and wait for her survivor benefit to kick in until 3.5 years, when it'll be a full survivor benefit because she's under the age of 66. She's under her full retirement age. So she's taking a reduced benefit on her own record and allowing the full survivor benefit to kick on when she gets to her full retirement age. In 3 years, I'll receive Medicare, so the timing is rather nice. I just want that to sink in. If she would have not known, she would have been granted her survivor benefit because her survivor benefit would have been more than whatever her reduced benefit off her own record was. And that would have, I mean, she's only 62, man. And that would have been that for the rest of her life. And that would have robbed her of a serious amount of money that her husband rightly earned through his own FICA taxes into Social Security. Look, I'm not going to say it's theft, but it's ignorant, and ignorant in this case is not excuse. It's just not. You know how they say ignorance of the law is no excuse? Here, ignorance of the law is no excuse. This is the law. The law allows a widow to receive spousal or survivor benefits at a later date while she's taking her own benefits on her own record. This is the law. All right. One other comment, I thought this was actually pretty interesting. This is actually pretty interesting when it comes to retirement spending as well. And this is real world stuff, my friends. Real world. This isn't just some freaking academic pointy head. This is real world, boots on the ground. I totally agree that consumer spending actually drops when you retire. However, over time, your need to buy services go up. Eventually, yard work and sometimes even housework becomes something you need extra help with, especially in a one-person household. Sometimes those former tax deductions are around to help, but sometimes they are knee-deep in their own tax deductions themselves. Former tax deductions, aka kids. Sometimes. That just makes me happy. I just see this. I love it. Sometimes the kids are around to help, but sometimes the kids are helping their own tax deductions. Humanity is a wonderful thing, man. Human beings are naturally good. There's some crazy ones out there, but humans are a good species, and we should be happy to be part of that for sure. Just on a side note, if you're worried about freaking, I don't know, white nationalists, Muslim terrorists, if you're worried about all this, look, man, stop it. We'll just use Muslims, for example. Whether 1 billion Muslims in the world, something like that. I mean, even if 1% of that population was terroristically inclined to actually take action, we'd all be dead. All right, that's all there is to it. You know, white nationalists, I don't know, maybe there are 20,000 still members of the Klan or something like that. I mean, again, even if that, it's just stop living in fear of other people. People are naturally good. Are there some fools? Yes. Are there some fools that will go off? Yeah, and take innocent lives? Yes, absolutely. The likelihood of that happening to you is so remote. Just why live in fear, man? It's not worth it. There is not a Nazi under your bed. There's not a Muslim terrorist strapped with bombs ready to kill you. There's not. Will that happen? Yes. Will there be a drunk driver that could kill you? Yes. What's the more likelihood, a Muslim terrorist or a drunk driver? I mean, come on. I hate it, man. We're so weaned on fear in this society that we look at everybody who's different. We say, ooh, that guy might be out to get me. And they're just not. Most people are just trying to get by and say funny things like this. Sometimes those former tax deductions are around to help, but sometimes they're knee deep in their own tax deductions. And in the single household, there are only half as many simple household repair and upkeep chores that one needs that are within one's abilities. So some of the consumer savings are off spent by spending on services. Now, I agree with that. I'm just literally mowing the lawn, maybe doing poop patrol. You got dogs. If you got dogs, they poop on the outside. It might be more of a challenge, believe it or not, to reach down and pick up that poop in your backyard. I 100% get that. That's a good point. It's a good point. So just keep that in mind. This, just reading this email just brings me to why I'm taking clients on again, because I like people. I do, and I think I can provide help. And I like knowing. I just like hearing people's stories. And if you know this lady, the story is sad, but it's also enlightening as well. And it's sad only because her husband died way too early. No other way around that. But it's enlightening because they were able to take that trip to Germany. I think they took a cruise to like Norway and stuff like that, or whatever it is. And they were able to do that, not knowing that the following year he would be gone. And I just, it's great, man. It's great that they were able to say, let's throw caution to the wind in some regard. No, look, they're not going to Las Vegas and gambling their last retirement penny on black, but they said let's enjoy it while we got it. And even though he was taken too soon, she had some time to spend with him, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy. All right. So the moral of the story: understand your own Social Security benefits. Recognize that your spending will go up to some degree in terms of just personal services when you retire, as you get older, for sure. Mowing the lawn. Yeah, I just, the things that you probably could have done before, clean out your gutters. Please, for the love of me, do not do that if you're a man at 65 or older. Hire somebody to do that, my friends. Paint the exterior of your home, put siding on, hire somebody to do that. Hire somebody to do that, please. All right, we'll see you.